What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. I hope you guys had a fun first day of Set 17. If you played, I know somebody who had a fantastic first day of Set 17, and that is Academy's Wasianiverson, Emerald already, rank 1 NA, 48 LP. And the crazy thing is, obviously he's already Emerald. Obviously, he climbed 600 LP in a day, which is just, the power of early set LP gains plus being a beast. Look at this win rate, 50%. 20 games played, 10 firsts in them. I mean, that is just absolute insanity here. I also do have to give the flowers to Dish Soap as well, who had an amazing run up as well, but it's hard. It's hard when Wasianiverson is that good. It almost makes Dish Soap not even look that good, even though he's got an 80% top 4 rate, a great win rate as well. We are going to watch some Wasianiverson today, especially because he played a line that I really, really want to talk about. This is a line that didn't actually get changed at all in the B patch. Or I guess it was an A patch from PBE to live, was a line that I think was already on people's radars a little bit during PBE, but I think with all the other comps getting nerfed pretty hard from PBE to live, is really like at the forefront of what people are thinking about playing. So yeah, that is what we are going to do this game here. Pick up this Leona, Cho'Gath, really nothing to write home about immediately in this game so far. These 2 cost unit drops are like not amazing, so we're just going to chill here, check Psionic item here, which it's not relevant for the game, so I'm not going to worry too much about it, but good on Wasianiverson to check a Psionic, check a Stargazer. Should be doing this every single game to know, especially with your Psionic if you're getting drone, because that item is still very, very strong. With Stargazer, Medallion's still really good for reroll and stuff like that. And speaking of reroll, we do see Priz Ticket here, which is a very tempting offer. We do see, our cost, upward mobility. I mean, these are all pretty solid options in my book. But I do love a Prismatic Ticket. And yeah, he actually does declare a victor in this spot here. Let me move my head here and show the victor there. So he calls Victor and slams immediately the Priz Ticket here. He does have drone uplink this game, which is important context. But as you'll see, it doesn't exactly end up going the way that we would think normally. But this is a drone uplink game. If we were to have that ability to reach Victor, we could play for drone uplink, which is very, very strong. If you guys have not played this Victor comp, there's this new school variation of Victor. Also, I think we're gonna win this fight. Our board is actually not too bad here. We'll see. No, okay, he does barely lose. Actually a great loss for Wasian. Okay, huge. But yeah, there's this new school version of Victor that'll probably be my VOD for tomorrow, honestly, but I want to cover this comp today. And this is also just a really fun VOD of Wasian playing it. So we are just going to chill on this board for now. Are going to make the Lissandra 2 surprisingly enough. Even though, I do think we would really, really like to 5 loss here, especially if you're playing any kind of 3-cost reroll, which is our plan. You really do love to take just a huge loss streak and then play that very easily into like a 3-5. Easily, playing stuff like Primordian, playing stuff like Timebreaker, using that to get a ton of econ. And no, actually, Wasianiverson is nice enough to actually team planner out this line here, which is the Victor line that normally one would play. So something to know. Like I said, I'll probably do a VOD review of it tomorrow just because it's a fun line and a very, very strong line, especially if you end up with drone. Even have seen people play without drone. Wasian is going to almost full sell his entire board here because he doesn't care about these units. Who really cares about the Lissandra or just anything that we got going on here? The Ezreal's a very nice hold because Timebreaker, especially with Priz Ticket, is kind of a broken combination because if you get a free reroll, also I just realized my head's been sitting here the entire, honestly, it's not even that bad a spot for my head. If you get a free reroll, then you can use that to then generate more free rerolls. So it's actually a really, really nice setup for you. He's going to take the recurve bow here and grab the Alawi. Alawi does go onto this Victor board. Also just is really nice to have for Anima in general. The only downside is he is scouting around the lobby and seeing there are some people who are kind of like full inting, and so we are either going to have to sell this Ezreal and just field Alawi on this board, or we might have to even just sell out of this Alawi here. So how greedy do we want to be, right? Do we want to hold on to this Alawi, or do we want to just get out of this? He does see that other board there that we are certainly going to beat, only fielding 1 unit. So he's either going to have to sell this Alawi or just suck it up and see if we fight Dish Soap and lose our streak here. The 2 Academy players full open in this spot, which is wild. We do also finally get our Timebreaker here, which is a nice upside, though I think we did just scout Dish Soap, and I think Dish Soap had no units on his board, so I think Wasian's just going to give up. Yep, very smart from Dish Soap to just say, you know what, I'm just going to sell everything. I'm going to make it relatively easy for you. And oh, look at that. That was so clean from Dish Soap. full sold his board because he knew he had 2 Timebreaker in his shop there. And so what he did is he full sold his board, made it look like he was just going to field no units, and then at the last second he bought the Pantheon and the Ezreal here to get Timebreaker. And so really clean lost streak tech there from Dish Soap. You'll see a lot of this set because these early Timebreaker and Primordial, these lost streak traits are really valuable in spots like this. And you can see for Wasianiverson as well. We get our Timebreaker in here. We managed to keep our lost streak, which is really nice. We are fortunate and we don't fight Dish Soap. And so they're both Wasian and Dish Soap sitting at 70 HP here. The whole rest of the lobby doesn't really care for the lost streak, but both of them looking at, just taking a very easy lost streak game plan. But yeah, we the spot's nice. We have a few rerolls banked already, which is pretty chill. Do pick up a Master Yi, which is kind of funny. Could be like a random item holder, though. We are thinking of building AP items, stuff like, Shojin you tend to not actually want to build on Victor, but as you're going to see very soon, our game plan is going to get a little interesting very quickly. Once again, actually, yeah, just going to full sell his board. He does see that Dish Soap's board is going to beat his, but he does sell everything here to just play 3 Anima to try to keep that loss streak. Wants to, go for a big Anima cash out in this spot, especially because we did 5 loss here. No reason to not go for a big Anima cash out and to not greet everything else here. Okay, Epoch, Misfits, Indiscriminate Killer. I don't think you really need Epoch in a spot like this. And he sees Spreading Roots, and he says, you know what? I think there's actually really good odds of me hitting something very nice off of Spreading Roots in this spot here. He offers Indiscriminate Killer a lot here, just thinking, maybe we can just use this as a very solid just damage item onto the Victor, especially because we could make multiple. But he takes Spreading Roots, and here's where the game gets a little interesting. We get Timebreaker plus Space Groove emblems. Now, I think people have kind of realized that Space Groove is one of the best emblems in the game. You can almost think of Space Groove as similar to Nova was last patch, or the PBE patch if you guys played a lot of PBE, where this is a transformational emblem, an emblem where if you're taking a spatula off an augment or something like that, you should be going for Space Groove very often, because 1, it allows you to fit a ton of really good units on your board, as we will see later. 2, it does give you access to things like 7 Space Groove later if you do really even truly want to play towards that. And 3, it's just a great emblem, and it allows you to fit, once again, units that normally you wouldn't really be able to fit on a Space Groove board. Normally they're kind of awkward to fit. With the emblem, life becomes a lot easier, and so he's kind of puzzling out these emblems here, looking at them for a while, and eventually, he doesn't even hold the Ornn here, because I think right now he's not thinking of this necessarily as a Space Groove game. But once he sees this Nami, I think he says, you know what, we must play towards Space Groove, and here is the idea. We're going to play Vertical Space Groove. We can play 6 of 7 Space Groove because we can just use the emblem to hit 7. Though this is also, obviously 10 units, which you can't play whenever you want to. But here are extra ins on this board. Pantheon TK Riven. The idea here is obviously Pantheon Riven, both Timebreaker units. Riven gets connected to Space Groove via Gwen, and Pantheon actually connects here via Nami, gives you the double caster here. And then you can also get Brawler in via Tahm Kench. TK can print you these type of units. And then Shen is obviously just a really good Bastion that you can play on your board. And so we can, with this setup, throw Space Groove emblem onto Riven, and it's almost transformational on her. It turns this unit, who is already a very solid melee carry, into just kind of an unstoppable monster. She gets the extra attack speed, which is going to allow her to get those casts going again and again, going off. And then she also gets that HP regen. Also, Dish Soap still full opening. It is 3-5, and this guy has 3 units on his board. To be fair, he also has 2 Mighty Mech units. He has the Mighty Mech, and he also already has the A-Soul. So I don't think he feels too bad about that spot, because he knows I can just full loss into this, play this comp, and spike from there and be very strong. But yeah, this is going to be the idea from Wasianiverson. We took a pretty bad beating to get to this point, and we're only ever actually going to cash out maybe like a 200, which is not amazing. We're going to make the Shojin for the Nami. So what do you want to build if you're playing this comp? A few items really stand out when you're looking at Riven stats. Starax looks really good on her in the stats. This ensures that she has enough AD that she's always turning into AD Riven, which you don't necessarily have to. You can play AD or AP Riven. She's got this cool, switching back and forth effect where she can be either, depending on what you itemize her as. But I do like AD Riven a lot, and Starax just really shines their item. Aside from that, the stats really just like defensive items on her in general here. Now, with Space Groove, her build honestly doesn't change too much. Once again, like I said, Starax really shines as one of her best options. You can do things like BT Edge of Night, but you can see basically everything everything that I've seen about this Riven unit is she just wants defensive items. She wants just items that are going to make her live a really, really long time. And you can see even stuff like JG, i.e. not even too bad on her. Honestly, the stats just say, put a Space Groove emblem on this unit and then jam some items on her and have a really good time. And if you can make a Sterax, make a Sterax, because the Sterax looks really, really good. And then Nami, she's just an AP caster. You want some AP on her. She already has so much attack speed from Space Groove. So something like a Shojin is actually pretty good. Any kind of like, mana on hit there is quite nice. And yeah, Wasian's actually just going to spike this round. Does pick up his Riven here and is just going to send it really deep actually to try to save some HP. Does find the Thomas Kench, who's a great guy to fit on the board. So for now, we're actually not going to play the Riven. We're just really trying to win this fight because we know if we lose this fight, we are going to be quite low. We get great items for everybody here. We get the Death Cap, the Void Staff, and we do end up making that Sterax, which like we talked about is so important onto the Riven here. We are going to take a very close fight here, but we are going to win here, which is huge for us. Going to give us that Anima cash out, which 200 is really not the best anima cash out. I will say, like, if you're playing for anima, you really want to be playing for at least 300, but I mean, you got to take what you got to take, right? I'd rather 200 than nothing. Roll. We do find this this new recruit here, which is a fantastic pickup for a few reasons. One, this does let you play. Remember when we did team player out a 10-unit board? I mean, this would allow us to play a 10-unit board on level 9, which is very nice. And the other big thing this allows us to do is we have Prismatic Ticket. We have 4 Namis right now. We have 5 Namis right now. All of a sudden, we're getting very close to 3-star forecasts. If you remember, last set, the focus on 3-star forecasts, we're not quite to that point this patch. There's a lot of reroll, and level 9 is still very real. So don't think about this so much as last patch of or last set where it was like every game you're playing for 3-star forecasts. But there are a lot of 3-star forecasts running around, especially with stuff like Meeple, which can print units, obviously. You can definitely play for 3-star forecast here. We do find TK2 here, which, yeah, I think is, going to be our in now on the board here. TK, such a nice unit to play. If you guys don't know how TK logic works for printing, essentially if you ever have a forecast pair, 2 copies of a forecast, he will print you an extra one. Now, I don't think that works for like the 6th copy here. I don't think that he's going to try to print us a 6th Nami. If he does, that's amazing here. And also, we do rotate into... Actually, that wasn't Dish Soap's board. Or was it? No, it wasn't. There's actually a different player who is playing the Mighty Mech board, which, by the way, I talked about it in my meta rundown video last vid, but Mighty Mech still very, very strong on the meta. Just still, in my opinion, an S tier line. Needs a little bit more of a push to be completely broken, but still very, very good. Do you ever take... No, okay. We're just going to take stuff that makes us strong here. Do pick up an Orin 2, which is pretty nice. We are playing 2 Orins on our board, which probably has to be fixed at some point, but we really don't have that much stuff to play. I mean, it also isn't even that bad because it's another Space Groove here. I think TK just gave us some gold there, so not bad at all. We do see a ton of free rerolls here. We do pick up the Shen as well. Oh my god, that is so good. So now we can just play this entire board here. We are going to make Titans. You saw in the stats, Titans looks pretty good as a last item onto this Riven unit. Once again, just any kind of like defensive-ish item, Titans, it's not that defensive, but it's CC immunity. But yeah, it's really just like Sterax, BT, Edge of Night, Titans. I mean, it's just all of these items that just make her live a long time, make her do a lot of work. The game's getting quite close here, but we are also getting quite close to our hits here. We do get Riven pair here, which is nice, especially in the world where we can think about printing stuff later. But we'll see. We'll see where we end up. Right now, we got this Morgana set up here. He's also, I mean, he has the dupe for Morg if we ever have to. This is the Wasianiverson coefficient, knowing when to greed and when not to greed in spots like this, because, I think there are certainly players out there who would say, I'm just going to dupe the Riven and take my, top 4. Or I'm going to dupe Morgana and I have a 2-star 5 cost. But Wasian knows, like, he can actually greed pretty hard in this spot here because his board's pretty good here. Rolling down for a slam out of tier here and I think like Morgana type items here. We do pick this up. Ooh, we get the Kale Boon, which is Radiant Sunfire here. I mean, I guess it's not the worst here. It's not really what you're jumping out of bed for, but not the worst. And we can then make our next item here, which, what is this going to be? Archangels for Morgana is what I would imagine. He's going to pop... Oh, he's going to make Crown Guard here and then just pop off the stupid Alawi item. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this anima item that we cached, all the 200 anima items are pretty underwhelming. So yeah, we can just throw this onto another tank and then make a real tank item for the Thomas Kench here. All right, makes sense. Rotate into a Radiant Gwynsu LeBlanc. That's a little bit of a problem. We are quite low here and we still only have the Riven 1, which is a little scary. So I do think, yeah, we are going to lose this fight here. Though very close. You can see Nami doing a lot of good work and even Riven 1 doing a little bit of work. work on this board. And I think that's Dish Soap dying, right? Dish Soap actually goes down here. Rest in peace. All right, gonna roll down one more time. We do get our print from TK, which is actually, wow, a Blitzcrank. Gonna continue to roll here. We're one off here, and so he's gonna sell out of his most expensive tank units. Beautiful stuff from, I mean, just beautiful roll down from Wasianiverson there. Yeah, actually sold out of the TK, used the gold to roll down, hit the Nami here, and I think the rest is gonna be history here. I will say, I mean, is it clickbait to put Riven in the title of this? I mean, in the thumbnail of the video? No, because it's thumbnail diversity. I don't think I've done a thumbnail of Riven yet, and that's what it's all about. That's what we do. That's why we get up in the morning. But still, I mean, you can see Riven stabilize this board nicely, and obviously we were trying to play towards the Riven, and then randomly ended up finding a Nami 3. But now we can also see this Riven 2 do pretty good work on the board. Nami's gonna help a little bit, but this Riven, you will see this Riven just with Space Groove Emblem plus Sterax is gonna be just a true monster on these boards. She's just so survivable, does so much damage. She's just everything. Once again, the big thing you want is the Sterax, and you can see, boom, 2,000 damage. That's, you know, pretty close to what the Nami dealt there. I mean, the rest of the lobby, the main thing that Wasian has to do here is ensure that he doesn't get, you know, somebody else hitting a 3-star 4 cost, but I think he should be fine denying in the spot here. Is going to make, this is, once again, I love seeing people itemize or like optimize the 3-star 4 cost itemization. The idea is just like, I just need to get Nami to cast once. If she casts once, she's going to blow up the board. Get rid of the stupid Void Staff. Who cares about that? Just get her boom cast and she one-taps, and then boom another cast and she one-taps. It's actually so satisfying to watch. Holy moly. And of course, the Space Groove stats, right? 72% AS, 5% healing. Like these stats are very, very good, and the Space Groove Emblem lets you do everything. And you can see on our board right now, we're playing the 6 Space Groove just because we have this this really nice Morgana that we ended up hitting. But you can very easily, you know, play 5 Space Groove without the new recruit. You can get up to things like 7 Space Groove on this board. And once again, the traits just, they play themselves. Like, it's so easy to just play this board with your +1 units that fit beautifully onto the board. The Pantheon, the Riven pair, and even just, you know, even though Timebreaker 2 does not actually provide you any like true combat stats, we have Timebreaker 3 in here off the emblem, which is amazing. But even though Timebreaker 2 doesn't really provide you like significant combat here, it is just nice to get 2 EXP per win or 2 rolls per loss. It allows you to hit your board. This comp is just amazing for hitting your board because you have the Tahm Kench and you also have the Timebreaker. Both of these units, remember, Tahm Kench can print you those 2 stars from the pairs like we talked about, and then the Timebreaker just does insane work as well. Another, wait, hold the phone. Hydro is going for Mighty Mech 3-star. We are denying 1, but that is not the whole shebang. You need to deny 2 to make it impossible for them to hit. So we'll see here. I mean, it's just us and them left, and so they are going to go for it. They're 2 off, and also have a lot of A-Souls. We have locked for the A-Soul here. Going to continue to roll down. The nice thing is with Pandora's Ticket, we are, or Pandora's Ticket, Golden Ticket, or Prismatic Ticket, we are very good at denying here. Look at the denial. Look at the APM. He's rolling it down, trying to find everything. He's denied 2 A-Souls, so Hydro should actually sell A-Soul here and just send it here for the Mighty Mech. Now, there's no reason to do it this round. You can wait 1, but obviously a little scary here. Wasian's still rolling, just beautiful. Just, I mean, very, very dedicated here. Gonna scout here to see, okay, can I sell the A-Souls and keep rolling here? He is actually going to sell the A-Souls and keep rolling here with the idea that Hydro is not actually close enough here to go for it. And do they end up getting there? They do not. Sold board, did not make it. And so it is going to be the dub for Wasianiverson. Just a beautifully played game, playing around the Space Groove Riven line, but also with the Prismatic Ticket. And yeah, just a great game in general. So hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch where I'm doing my subathon day 2 tomorrow. Already did some really fun goals today. Hope to do many more over the next few days. So I will see you guys there for that. And my Metafy, doing my weekly Tacticians University session tomorrow as well. So if you guys are interested in that, link in the description down below as well. Yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. I didn't click stop.